Hello YouTube, welcome to another edition of Angry Dave's Adult RC. I'm your host, Angry Dave. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can stay up on all the RC action and hit the notification bell so you see our videos upload as soon as they hit the net. As you remember in our last episode, if you watched it, we took a nice little trail run with the 69 Blazer Axial SCX-10 2 and my buddy's SCX-10 1 with the Jeep pickup Jurassic Park body on it. Pretty cool looking truck. During the course of that trail run, it became fairly apparent some of the shortcomings of the SCX-10 2 with the Blazer body. Number one being the bumpers stick out way too far front and rear, making the approach and departure angles less than optimal. And there were a couple other little things performance-wise and cosmetically that I decided I wanted to take care of. So as you can see in these pictures that are flashing here, those bumpers stick out pretty far. And there's not a lot of other stuff you can see other than the cosmetics. Obviously, the truck is completely stock. I added the roof back half piece, whatever the hell you call it, and sprayed it with truck bed liner. That's one of my favorite things to spray SUV tops with because it gives it a nice textured look. So, with that all said and shown, here is the Blazer. So, since that run, notice right away I threw some stickers on the windows here. Nothing crazy. Anybody can apply stickers. It's not that hard. But I did suck up these bumpers. We trimmed the fenders right here so they're not as long. Tucked that bumper in real nice. We were able to run that in pretty much all the way. We trimmed out along the wheel wells to give a little more clearance and make sure that the tires weren't rubbing. And then we really tucked that back bumper in nice. We probably lost 3/4 of an inch off the front and back tucking those bumpers in. And I tested it out. It worked pretty good. Got nice angles now. It's a lot more capable. There's a lot less noise and a lot less bumping. Another easy performance mod we made was aluminum skid plates. They smooth out the bottom of the stock skids so they don't get hung up. And they're made of aluminum flashing, so they're super light. So now we're going to get into some more cosmetic deals. We're going to add a supercharger and probably a set of zoomies. We're going to change the driver head. We're going to do a little custom paint on it and a couple other things. And we'll see what we can get out of it. So let's get on painting up this driver head. Alright, so here is the driver head. I'm going to go with the skull head. I already sprayed the front of the glasses silver and obviously sprayed the helmet blue to match the truck. Now we're going to go ahead and black wash the face or antique the face, depending on where you look it up. It'll be called different things. Basically, you make yourself a wash out of some water and a little bit of black paint, or you can do it with other colors too if you're looking for the same effect in another color. And then you just go ahead and paint the area. The little creases and crevices will collect the black, and the broader areas will kind of reject it and stay white. And you should end up with a nice textured looking piece when you're done. Let's give it a try. Alright, so this effect works best when you don't have smooth, shiny plastic like this. But this is way too intricate to be able to sand. So I'm going to take some flat white paint and go over the area, let it dry, and then we'll go back and black wash it. Alright, now that the white paint is dry, let's go ahead and black wash. Now it doesn't matter if we go over the edges down here, because this is all going to get blacked out. The edges around here are going to get blacked out, and the goggles are going to get blacked out. Alright, so that looks pretty good. I'll let that dry for a couple minutes, and there might need to be a little bit of touch up, but overall I think that's going to look just fine. It's looking pretty good. Now it's time to bust out the semi-gloss black, and there's going to be quite a bit of that. I'm going to start with the band on the goggles. Alright, so we got all the stuff we want to do black done. That's looking pretty good. Liking those goggles. So the last thing we got to do is I'm going to take this silver marker and I'm going to do silver around the trim of the helmet, and I'm going to do the buckle. So there he is. Looks pretty good. Let's pop him in the truck. Hell yeah. He looks good in there. Matched to the truck. A little bit grungy. And dead as hell. Alright, I think next we're going to start working on the blower. Alright, so here's the blower assembled. Not really anything worth showing. There's 2 screws in the bottom, 1 screw in the front. I painted the butterflies to match the truck. It's a pretty common thing for people to do with superchargers. We got a little stencil made up here. We dropped that on the front, traced it out. I radiused the corners because I'm going to use my Lexan reamer to open up the corners first. Then we'll kind of connect the dots with the cut. Make sure everything's straight and measured out properly and all that happy horse shit. And then we'll start working on mounting. So let's cut some holes. Alright, here we got some holes. Next thing we're going to do is grab a tool of some kind. Haven't decided what I want to use yet. And cut out the straights. I'm thinking I might break out the Dremel. And then I can go back and just kind of file the edges. So let's get on doing that. Alright, that worked pretty good. I'll just go ahead and take a file, go back around the hole, and clean it all up. And then we'll see how it fits. Alright, so now we got a hole. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the blower and some cardboard, and we're going to make a template so that this little plate, helps if I keep it on fucking camera, this little plate will have the blower on it, and I should be able to drop it right onto the body posts and then drop the body down over it. And I'm going to let this be sunk down just a little bit so it doesn't look like it's just bolted to the hood. It'll actually look like it's sticking through the hood. Alright, so first we feed this up through. Get it sitting right where we want it. And then take a marker. And locate those holes. All right, so now that stencil is made and it fits. So all there is left to do now is transfer it onto a piece of sheet metal and cut it out. All right, there's the blazer with the blower. Looks pretty good. Fits in there nice. Now, what I'm going to try to do is fold the ends of the piece of sheet metal the blower is mounted to down 90 degrees and then mount the header pipes to those, and then they should be able to tell me where in the body to cut holes so they can stick through. Alright, so here we got the blower and the pipes all mounted on the same piece of sheet metal. I flipped it upside down and got these outside marks put on here just for kind of a reference. Put a piece of skinny masking tape up the middle so I have something to measure from. Now I'll go ahead and finalize the measurements and start cutting out holes. Alright, so we got the rough measurements that I put on the underside of the body sorted out to where they were both the same on either side and looked like they were where they should be. Then we transferred them to the top and cut out some holes. And this is what we got. Got some zoomy headers sticking up through the hood, or hooders as some people refer to them. And then the blower. The combination looks fucking badass. I'm pretty fucking happy with the way this came out. It's gonna look fucking sweet cruising down the trail. And of course we got Mr. Skullhead in here too, so changes are coming along nicely. Starting to look pretty cool. Next thing we're going to do is deal with the license plate. Excuse me. I like the license plate, but where it mounts on the bumper is just a big fucking hang-up spot when you're coming down off stuff, and tucking in the bumper was meant to help alleviate that problem, and putting the plate back in it just makes it a problem again. So what we're going to do is we're going to mount it. I don't know if you can see, but there's a little black dot just under that R. We're going to punch a hole. We're going to sink the thing right into the tailgate flush, so when the bumper's on, it'll be sitting kind of right on top of the bumper in the middle of the tailgate. That way we still get to run the plate, but it doesn't get in the way. All right, there we go. License plate mounted. Nice and easy. Drilled the hole, stuck it in there, put a couple of dabs of hot glue on the back of the plate, and then pressed it up against the tailgate. And then on the inside, put a couple of blobs of hot glue and stretched them up the shaft of the receiver there. That way they really can't come out. Even if it comes loose and is able to move, this glue being stuck all over the place will kind of act like a detent almost, so it won't be able to actually come out of the body. So the next thing we're going to do is get some paint on the wheels. So let's take a look at those. Oh yeah, this thing's starting to look pretty badass. All right, so here's the wheels. Not going to do anything real drastic. I think we're just going to paint them black. Going to leave the silver beadlock ring. I'm going to leave the silver center cap. That's a separate piece anyway, so that's nice and easy to do. And we're just going to hit them with some semi-gloss or flat black. I think that subtle change will make a big difference, and they'll also match the black cap and the black stripe kit that we're going to put on it after that's done. So let's go ahead and yank them off and start masking. All right, finish is looking pretty good on these. Let's get them peeled. All right, and there we are installed on the truck. Looks a whole lot better. It's a subtle difference going from a gray rim to a black rim, but it's a powerful one. Makes it look a whole lot better, and it's really going to match nice once we get the black stripes on there. So I guess the next thing we do is bust out the masking tape and start laying out some stripes.
I believe the best of Billy Joel. Yeah. Yes, it is. What is today? Well, today's Thursday. Oh, there's only one more left.
All right, got all the lines masked out. Time to cover up the rest of the body. Go shoot some paint. All right, we got paint sprayed on this bitch. Let's go ahead and get this masking tape off and see if this came out halfway decent. Not super worried about the quality on this because it is a crawler. It's just going to get the shit beat out of it and get all scratched up anyways. But I don't want it to be very obviously shitty looking. As long as you can look at it pretty quickly and it looks okay, then once I get it kind of scratched up, then any defects will just kind of blend into the damage on the body. And yeah, all right, let's peel this shit off and see what's up. And there it is, all masked off, done. Looking fucking sexy. That thing looks badass. It's amazing what you can do with a little time and very little cash. I literally have less than 30 bucks in this thing. The blower, the zoomies, the paint, the masking tape, all combined, less than 30 bucks. Got a few little modifications there, sucking in the bumper so it'll perform a little bit better. And nice stripe job that you don't really see on RC trucks a whole lot. Oh man, it came out good. I'm really fucking happy with it. So if you like it, go ahead and drop a comment, drop a like on the video. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can see our videos as soon as they get uploaded. And we'll see you next time on Adult RC, where grown-up time is playtime.